Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem education reform, right? They have given here education reform, right? So this was asked in the Codeforces bit around 90. See here, right? This was asked in the Codeforces bit around 90. So let's try to understand the problem and then let's move on with the further things, right? So you can just go through the question. I'll just summarize the question so that it will be easier for us to solve the problem, right? So let's see what the question states here. Just give me a second, 1 second. 1 second. Yep. So here the question is, we have to choose n distinct subjects. See here, we have to choose n distinct subjects in strictly increasing complexity order. In strictly increasing complexity order, right? So I'll just write here increasing, right? So this is fine. In strictly increasing complexity order, each subject is used at most once. Each subject is used at most once, right? So this is very important. For the chosen subject I, we have to see, for the chosen subject I, we have to pick x represented by xi in that belongs to basically a comma this one b, that is represented by ai and bi, right? So this has to be within the array basically, right? So this is fine, I believe. For each day I greater than 1, x must equal either previous plus k or this one previous into k. X must equal either previous plus k or this one previous into k, right? So this is fine, I believe. What we need to do then here, we need to find any valid sequence of n subjects, right? So we need to find any valid sequence. They have not mentioned so this sequence, it can have the multiple outputs, right? So we have to find any valid sequence of n subjects, right? N subjects and exercises maximizing the total sum of exercises. So what it has to do, maximizing the total sum of subjects, right? So I'll just give you a maximizing total, right? Total sum. Let me give you a maximizing total sum of exercises. We have to print no if it is impossible. We have to print no if it is impossible. Just give me a second here. 1 second. Yeah. Let's move on to the other things. I was getting a call, sorry. This one, yeah, let me read out the question loud so that we understand the question better, right? So just listen to this carefully. So we have to choose n distinct, this one, see, we have to choose n distinct subjects in strictly increasing complexity order, right? So each subject is used at most once. Each subject is used at most once. For chosen subject I, we have to pick x that belongs to ai comma bi, right? Represented by xi belongs to ai comma bi, right? For each day I greater than 1, x or xi must equal either previous plus k or previous into k, right? So we have to find any valid sequence of n subjects and exercises maximizing the total sum of exercises. Again, what we need to find here, we need to find any valid sequence of n subjects. See here, this one, any valid sequence of n subjects and exercises maximizing the total sum of exercises. Again, we have to find any valid sequence of n subjects and exercises maximizing the total sum of exercises. We need to print no if it is impossible. We need to print no if it is impossible, right? So this is the question mainly, right? So let me come to the input output part here. See, 4 we have been given n4, m5 and k we have been given 2 here, right? So this is the input basically 1 10 1 1 10 2. So this is basically, we can consider this one as c, right? So we can just consider this one as c. 110 1 110 2 110 3 124 100 5 basically. We have been given this one m equals 5, right? So we should have the 5, this one, right? 110 110 110 3 times followed by 123, 124 and 105. So the output that we need to get here is any valid sequence, right? So we can go with can print any valid sequence. This is one of the valid sequence that is valid, yes, followed by 28, 310, 420 and 540, right? Same goes with the example 2 as well. You can just go through the example 2. So this is the question basically, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear. Again, what we need to find, we have to find any valid sequence of n subjects and exercises, maximizing the total sum of the exercises, right? So, and again, one more thing we have to keep in mind, that we have to print no if it is impossible. Just keep these two things in the mind. So we are done with this question part. Let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss the this one approach followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. As usual, let's discuss the complexities, this one approach part. So here I have considered the same first example that they have given in the question, right? So n we have this one 4, m we have 5 and k we have 2. This is the input, and the output that we need to get here is this is one of the valid sequence, right, accordingly with the question criteria and the question that they have asked. So S28, 310, 420 and 540, this is fine, man. And one more thing, before hopping into the step-by-step explanation, let me tell you one thing. We will be going with a pure dynamic programming to solve this particular problem, right? So we'll be going with the pure dynamic programming just to solve this problem, right? So let's move on with the step-by-step explanation here. So we are considering the same example as I have said, the first example, right, or the first input that they have given in the question. N we have 4, m we have 5 and k we have 2, this part, right? So C we have here and the subject ranges, right? So this one C 1, 10, when C equals to 2, 1, 10, this one 110, 1 they have given, 110, 2, next 110 followed by 3. Think but C equals 3, this one range 1, 10, and C equals 4, range 1, 20, meaning 1, 20, 4 they have given, right? C equals 5, 1, 100 they have given the range. So these are the subject ranges basically, right? So this is fine. Now let's discuss the DP idea for the example, right? So then we can just this one discuss the complexities, and then let's write the code. First step here, what we'll be doing, we will be sorting the objects by the complexity. Based on the complexity, we will be sorting the subjects. This is fine. For day 1, we will be allowing any valid value x inside a comma b. A comma b is nothing but the range that we have considered, right? So see here, for day 1 what we will do, we will allow any valid value x inside a comma b for any subject, right? So we will be initializing the DP with the value x. Just remember this, we will be initializing the DP with the value x. I hope this part is completely clear. No doubt, I believe we can move on with the further things. The second point here would be for the day greater than 1. For day 1 we have already considered that we can allow any valid value x inside a comma b range, right? So for any subject, initially we'll be initializing the DP with the value x. This we know. For day greater than 1, for every previously reachable state, what we will do, we have to compute the candidate, nothing but the current 1 and current 2 will be going with. So this one will be previous plus k and previous into k. So this is not plus k, this is basically previous into k. Sorry, this is wrong basically. Yeah, so we will compute the candidate current 1 equals previous plus k and previous into k. This one I know because they have strictly mentioned in the question. I said the same, right, in the question. So for chosen subject I, we have to pick xi that belongs to ai comma bi. For each day I greater than 1, xi must equal either previous plus k or previous into k. They have given in the question itself. So that I had stressed that one earlier, right? For day greater than 1, for every previously reachable state, we have to compute the candidate current 1, nothing but the previous k, and current 2, nothing but the previous into k. This is fine. Let's move on with the next step, right? Let's move on with the next step basically. Not the next step basically, let's continue with the second step. For any later subject t with a higher complexity whose range includes current as well as we have to what we have to do then, we have to update the DP d dt current equals max of previous sum plus current. So this we will be doing while writing the code. Just have a this then look into it. So when we write the code, don't get confused, right? So dp of dt and the current, so this will be equivalent to the max of previous sum plus current. So for what we'll be updating this one? For any later subject t with a higher complexity whose range includes current, right? Whose range includes current, then we are updating the dp dt current equals max of previous sum plus current. So just have a look into it. So you don't have to like know this one before itself. Just try to remember this one. This will be helpful while implementing the code, right? So this is fine, man. Now we have to repeat until day n, right? So accordingly with the it goes accordingly with the input. Basically in our case the n was 4, right? So we have to repeat until day n. We have to pick the dp of n with the maximum sum, and we have to reconstruct the path using the stored points, right? So that's what we will be doing. So let's move on with the final point, or the fourth point here. For the sample dp, for the sample dp finds the chain for the first input. For the sample meaning for the first input whatever we have considered, for the sample dp finds the chain, this one. So subject at 8, subject this one, subject basically subject 2 at 8. So this one has to be 2, man. We have 2 here, so I forgot to mention 2 here. Subject 2 at 8. So this one followed by subject 3 at 10, subject this one 4 at 20, and subject 5 at 40. Since 8 is equivalent to the 10, this will be plus 2, 10 equivalent to 20. So this one will be this one into 2. Don't get confused, it's not x2 into 2, and 20 equivalent to 40. So this is again into 2. So which gives us the maximal sum or the maximum sum, right? So starting with the 8 is optimal because other starts this one. Example, if we consider 10, basically it cannot continue to the subject 3. It has to continue till subject 3, right? So subject 2 at 8, subject 3 at 10, subject 4 at 20, and subject 5 at 40. So this one we can consider basically. So this will be basically the final output will be yes, it is possible, and we have to print yes in this case first in the first line, followed by 2 8, the this one, subject 2 at 8, subject 3 at 10, subject 4 at 20, and subject 5 at 40 basically, right? So this is the output that we got here. So the output that we got here is equivalent to the output that they have mentioned for the example 1 within the question. See, right? So this one, example 1 within the question, right? So our approach works absolutely correct in this case. As we are completely familiar with the approach, let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss the complexities part. So what will be the time complexity here? The time complexity would be because n into m square into r, right? So where this one r is there, right? So this one r is less than or equal to 101, right? R is less than or equal to this one, what do we call 101, which is the maximum number of the values per subject, right? Maximum number of values per subject. Since b minus a or bi minus ai is less than or equal to 100 accordingly with the constraint that they have given. So roughly we can just go with big of n into m square into 100 basically. That also we can write, but it's better to go with big of n into m square into r, right? So what would be the space complexity then? The space complexity would lead to big of n into m into r, because we will be making use of the dp array and the parent arrays, right? So that that leads us to the this one, almost big of n into m into 100 basically. So it's better to go with n into m into r, right? So this is fine because it is less than or equal to 101, the value I have considered here. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we'll be writing in the future would be big of n into m square into r and big of n into m into r respectively. Now as we are completely familiar with the complexities and the approach, we are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code. I'll just come here. First we'll be making use of the fast input and the output. So I'll just import this one, input output package. So we'll be making use of different utilities as well. So I'll just import here utility packages, right? So just give me a second here. Yep. Now we have to make use of the class as usual. So I'll just go with class main, right? So this is fine. You can give any name. I'll just give the name main, right? So just give the name that's relevant to the question. Next, let's go with the helper class just to store the subject info. We have to store the subject info somewhere accordingly with the approach, right? So let's make use of the helper class just to store the subject information here. So this will be static class. So this one will be subject, right? So within this class, so let's go with the allowed range a comma b. So this one will be long a comma b. This is fine. So this is the allowed range basically. Next, let's go with the complexity c and the original id basically. This is one base, so this one will be int c comma id. This is also fine. And also let's go with the constructor. I have considered this one, right? The name basically. So let's go with the parameters here. Long a, we need to go with this one as well, b and c as well, right? So this one will be long b. So let me go with int c. Also we went with id, right? So let me go, which is of the type int. So this will be int id. This is fine. So now we have to initialize. So this one, this dot a equals a, this dot b equals b, and this dot c equals c. Just going with the initialization, and this dot, finally what we have here, id, right? So this dot id equals, so this one will be id. So this is fine, man. This is just the constructor initialization part. So this is fine, I believe. So now let's do one thing. Now let's go with another helper class just to store the parent pointers on the dp, right? So this one also we had discussed on the approach basically, right? So this one will be class, let me go with the state here, right? So this is just the, again, this is just the helper class to store the parent pointers on the dp. Now pj, let's go with the variables pj and the pv, right? So pj is nothing but the previous subject and previous subject index, and pv is nothing but the previous offset value, right? So this will be value minus a previous, right? So basically I'll just consider here the variables, this one pj and the pv. This is fine. Now let's go with the state again, this one constructor part. So this one will be int pj and pv. This is fine. So this dot pj equals pj. This is also fine, and this dot pv equals pv, right? So this is fine, man. Yep. So let me come out of this one entirely. Now let's go with the main method, man. So this one is fine. Let me give here throws exception. Fine. And now within the main method, let's do one thing. Let's go with the fast input and the output. So let me go with the buffered reader br. So this one will be new buffered reader. So this one will be new input stream reader. So this one system dot n. This is fine. So next let's go with the print writer. So this one will be output equals new print writer. This one will be new buffered writer. So this is fine, new. So this one will be output stream writer. This is fine. So this one will be system dot out. Yep, this is fine, man. Now let's do one thing. We have to read the first line, so we'll be making use of the string tokenizer here. So I'll just go with string tokenizer here. Let me consider the variable here string tokenizer, new string tokenizer. This one buffered reader dot read line. This is also fine. Yep. Next let's do one thing. We have to read the number of days to schedule. Also we have to read the number of subjects and the k parameter. Nothing but we have to go with the add or multiply, right? If you remember, previous plus k and previous into k, right? So we have to first we need to go with the number of days to schedule. Next we have to go with the number of subjects, and then we have to go with the k parameter. Let's do that. So nmk is the thing that they have given in the input, right? So this one I'm speaking of, man, we have already discussed this one in the approach. So this one nmk input, so we have to read that one, right? So this one will be int n, so all are of the type integer basically. So this one will be integer dot parse int, this is fine, of buffered reader. Oh, we have made use of the string tokenizer, right? Sorry, string tokenizer dot next token. Buffered reader was enough, I believe. I don't know. Fine, I made use of the string tokenizer. Let me make use of this itself. So all the three are of the types integers itself, right? So this one, let me copy paste the same thing, paste the same thing here. So this is nothing but, let me change this one to m and let me change this one to k, right? So this is fine. Yep. Now let's do one thing, let's go with the array to store the objects, right? So this one will be subject, so this one will be array equals new subject of let me pass m here, this is fine. Yep. So let's do one thing, the next step would be the for loop. Basically we have to read m subject lines, right? So I'll just go with for, so this one will be int I equals 0, I less than m, so this one will be I plus plus. So within the for loop, let's do one thing, let's we have to read the abc. I'll just assign the string tokenizer to new string tokenizer. So this one buffered reader dot read line, right? So this is fine, we are successfully, after reading the abc, we have to go with ai bi ci again, right? So let's do one thing, I'll just copy the same thing here, these three lines, let me copy the same thing here, let me paste it over here, right? So this is fine, I believe. Just give me a second here. So instead here I'll just make this one a, let me make this one b, and let me make this one c. So this all of them are the type of integers itself. So yeah, one more thing we have made use of for this one, we have to go with the long basically, not the int. So let me do one thing, let me this one copy the same thing here, again here also. So here this one has to be long dot parse long basically, right? So this one also we have to do, this remains same, string tokenizer dot this one next token for the a, b and c. So let me copy this one entirely, let me replay, sorry, what did I do, man? Yep. Just give me a second here. So let me change the second line as well. So instead of a I'll just go with b, instead of a I'll just go with the c. So this is fine, I believe, man. Yep. So this one has to be c, we have considered here, this one has to be type integer, right? So these a and b are this one, and this one c has to be integer, right? So this one, let me go with the int c, this one I'll just go with the integer dot parse integer. This is fine, this is fine, man. Yep. This one has to be string tokenizer dot next token, right? So this is fine. Yep. Let's do one thing, next let's go with the array of I. We have to store the subject with the original id, that is equivalent to I plus 1. So this one has to be array of I, this is fine, it is equivalent to new, this one will be subject. So let me go with a comma b comma c comma I plus 1. So this is also fine. So we have to store the subjects with original id equals I plus 1, right? So this one, let me move on with the further things. We have to sort by complexity, that is increasing, right? So if complexity, if equal complexity, basically by the id will be sorting, right? So let's go with the arrays dot sort, this one array comma x comma y, this is fine. Yep. X dot c equals y, this is also fine, this one has to be y dot c, right? So this is fine. And x dot id, so this one minus y dot id, this else we have to go with x dot c minus y dot c, This is fine. Yep. This is fine, man. Now let's do one thing. We have to go with the unused helper array in this particular solution. This is left as an original, right? So let me do one thing. Let me go with this one. Int length equals new int of m. This is fine. Yep. So this is the unused helper array in this particular solution, which is basically left as an original, right? So let's do one thing. Let's go with the for loop, man. Let's move on with the iteration part. So this one will be for int j equals 0, j less than m, j plus plus. So this is fine. So within the for loop, let's do one thing. Let's go with the length of the range for the subject j. So this one will be length of j. This is fine. New int of new int. This is fine, man. Yep. So this one will be int. So this is fine. Array of j dot b minus array of j. This is fine. Dot a plus 1. This is fine. Let's do one thing. This is nothing but the length of the range for the subject j, basically, right? So this is fine, I believe. Yep. Let me come out of this one entirely. Now, so as I've said, we'll be making use of the dp, right? So this one is nothing but the we'll be going with the dp of d, j and off, right? So this is nothing but maximum total sum up to day d, that is ending at the subject day with the offset off. So I'll be going with this one. 3 rs we have to give as we had discussed here. So this one will be dp equals new long of, so this one will be size n plus 1, this one will be m, and finally let me go with the empty one. So also we have to go with the state here. So again 3 arrays, and so this is new, so this one will be state, so this one will be n plus 1 again, so this one will be m, and this one will be empty array. So this is fine, man. Just give me a second, 1 sec. So this is fine, man. Let's do one thing. Long int state, we have this one. Initialization part is fine. So now we have to allocate the dprs for all the days and the subjects, right? Let's do that. So we have to go with a nested arrays here. This is fine. For int d equals 0, d less than or equal to, and let me increment the d. So next let me go with here, sorry, for int j equals 0, j less than m, so this one has to be j plus plus. So within the for loop, so we have to go with the number of possible values for the subject j first. So this one will be, let me consider the variable l, so let me go with the int. Let's convert this one to the int. So this one will be array of j dot b here, b minus array. Yeah, this is fine. It is showing in the suggestions. So this one array of j dot a plus 1. I thought this will also show in the suggestions. No, this is fine, man. Now let's create the dp array for the each offset, and then also after creating the dp array for the each offset, we have to create the parent array for each offset as well. These two things, let's do this one very quickly. So this one will be d, this one will be j, so this one will be new long of long small l. This one, let me pass the capital L here. Also we have to create the parent array for the each offset, so I'll just go with the par d. So this one will be j, new state of this one. Let me pass the L here. And finally we have to initialize the dp values to the -1 if it is unreachable as per the question, right? So this one will be arrays dot fill, this one will be dp of d, this one j, and finally let me give -1 because we are initializing the dp values to the -1, nothing but when it's unreachable. Basically we have to print -1. They have strictly mentioned in the question, right? So we have to print the -1 with no. So this is fine. So now let's continue with the initialization part, right? So for the day one, we can choose any subject j and value in its range, right? So I'll just go with the nested loops again. So this will be int. So basically j equals 0, j less than this one m, j plus plus. So this is fine. Just 1 second. Yeah. So within the for loop, I'll just go with another for loop. So we have to go with the offset as well, right? So I'll just go with for here this one, and offset variable I have considered off, I believe. So this one will be 0. Just give me a second. Yep. Offset this one less than dp of 1 j. This is also fine. Dot length, so this one offset plus plus, so this is fine. So within the for loop, let's actually go with the, let's do one thing, let's go with the actual chosen value that is equivalent to the a plus offset, right? So I can just write it on this way, long value equals array of j dot a plus offset. So I'll just write it on this way itself, right? This is fine. Now we are left with only one thing. We have to go with the total sum for the day one. That is nothing but the equivalent to the chosen value, right? So this one we can write it in the code in this way: dp of 1 j as well as offset. So this one is equivalent to the value. We have considered the val keyword, right? So variable name. So this is fine. Let me come out of this one entirely. We are done with this part. Now let's move on with the this one. Basically we have to fill the dp for the days 2 to n, right? So let's fill the dp for the days 2 to n. So yeah, this consists of the so many of nested loops, if I remember. So this one will be int. Let me go with the day equals this one, d equals 2, d less than or equal to n, d plus plus. So this is fine. So within the for loop, I'll just go with one more for loop here. So this one will be int pj equals 0, pj less than m, pj plus plus. So this is fine, man. So now we are iterating the previous day, nothing but the pj I have considered, right? Nothing but the previous day subject index, right? So now one more for loop, we have to go with a one more for loop here, because we have to iterate the offsets of the previous subject as well, right? So for that one, let me go with one more for loop here. So this one will be po. This one initially, let me go with a 0, po less than this one, dp of d minus 1 pj. So this is fine. And so this one has to be length, right? So let me give length here. So let me go with, let me increment the view. So this is fine. So within the for loop, now we have to skip the unreachable states. So obviously if the states are unreachable, then we have to skip, right? So we can make use of the continue keyword for that. Let me write the if condition for this point. So this one will be if dp of skipping, so I have to go with a d minus 1 pj. Also I have to include po as well, right? So these three things, this is fine. If it is unreachable, meaning if it is less than 0, right? So then we have to skip. Let me make use of the continue keyword for skipping. So this is fine. The next step would be so we have to go with the previous chosen value. So I'll just go with long here, previous equals, so this one will be array of pj. So this is fine. A plus, let me go with a po here, this is fine. Also let me go with a long here, this is fine. I'll just go with this one, what do we call? So if you remember, we have to go with the previous plus k as well as the previous into k, right? So this one will be previous plus k, also previous. So this one previous into, so we have to convert this one to the long. Okay, this is fine, man, right? So this is fine. So let me come out of this one. Now what we need to do here, so for each candidate we have to consider for each candidate next value. So let's go with a simple for loop again. so this one will be long parent, so this one will be candidate. So this is fine, I believe. So this is fine. Now within this for loop, what we need to do basically, we are going for each candidate next value, right? So we have to try all the subject to use on the particular day, meaning again we have to go with a for loop, nothing but we have to go with the j this time, right? So this one will be for int j equals 0, j less than m. So this is fine, man. So within this for loop, what I have to do, so we have to go with a complexity that must be strictly increasing, right? So let me go with a simple if condition here. If array of this one pj, so this one dot c, if it is greater than equal to array of j dot c, so this is fine, then complexity must strictly increase, right? So then we can skip this one. If it is this one greater than or equal to array of j dot c, then for skipping I'll just make use of the continue keyword here. So this is fine. Now let's go with the offset for the particular subject. So this one will be int offset, so we can just go with the int. So I'll just convert this one to the int. So this one will be current minus array of j dot b. So this is fine. Now we are done with this part, right? So array dot j dot a, this is not b basically, current minus array of j dot a, this is fine. Now let's go with the new total sum. If we pick the current at the subject j, so we have to go with the long, I believe, for this sum. Let's see, I'll just go with long sum equals here dp of d minus 1, this is fine. We have considered pj, right? So this is fine. Also we have to give po, yeah, pj and po, this is fine, and this will be plus current, so this is fine. Yep. Now what we need to do, let's go with the simple if condition. If this leads to the better total, then we have to update the dp and the parent as per the approach. So this one, if sum greater than dp of d, what are the things I have considered? dp of d, j, as well as the offset variable of basically, right? So within this if condition, what we need to do, we have to store the best sum again. So this one will be dp of d, j, so this one will be offset, so this one will be sum. This is also fine, man. We have to store the best sum. Finally we have to remember the parent state, meaning we have to go with the previous subject or index. So this one will be parent of d, j, this is fine. This one will be offset as well. So let me assign this one to the new state, this is also fine. So this one will be pj comma q. Yep. Now we are done with this part. So let me come out of this one entirely, right? So this is fine, man. Yep. So we are almost done, I believe. No, we still have to find the best ending state on the day n, man. So this is the big headache. So let's do one thing. So this will not be this one. Let me come out of this one entirely. So this one, yeah, come out of this one entirely. Now let's find the best ending state on the day n, meaning, so first let me initialize certain things. So let me go with best equals -1 initially, also because we are finding the best ending state on the day n, right? So initially let me consider the best variable here. Also let me initialize that one to the -1, and let me go with int pj. So this one also let me initialize this one to the -1. Finally bo is the variable we considered initially previously as well. Let me initialize that one to the -1 as well. So first again let me go with the nested loops. This time this will be int j equals 0, j less than so m we have considered, right? So j plus plus. So within the for loop, again one more for loop, this one, and again, so I should have copy pasted, man, this one offset less than dp of n j. So we have to go with the length. Let me go with the offset plus plus. So within the for loop, so we have to track the maximum total sum. So this one will be if dp of n j, this one will be off if it is greater than best, then so what we'll be doing within the if condition, so let me assign the best to dp of n j, so this one will be off. So this is fine, man. So next bj equals, let me go with the j bo, so let me go with the this is nothing but we are just recording the subject index and the this one offset for that particular maximum. So let me come out of this one entirely. Now we are left with only one part. So let's write this one quickly. So if no valid schedule is found, then we have to print no accordingly with the question. They have strictly mentioned this one, right? So if best is less than 0, then what we need to do, let me go with the out dot println, let's print no in this case. So this is fine, right? So this is fine. Next, else what shall we do? Else if valid schedule is found, then we have to reconstruct path and we have to print it, right? So in simple terms we have to print s. So I'll just go with out println, so let me give s here. So this is fine, man. Yep. So the next step is we have to start the reconstruction from the day n at the best bj comma bo. So this one will be int d equals n, j equals bj, so this is fine, comma o equals bo, this is fine. So this one has to be bo equals bo. This is fine. We are just starting the reconstruction from the day n at the best bj comma bo. So now what we need to do, we have to go with the arrays just to hold the subject IDs as well as the chosen values for the day, right? So let's go with the initialization part. So this one will be int sj equals new int of, let me pass n here, so this is fine. Yup, long, this is also fine. So this one will be xv, this is equivalent to new long of, so let me pass n here again. So now let's walk backwards through the parent. So let me give here while loop. So d greater than d should be greater than or equal to 1 basically, right? Now only we can move forward. So this is fine. Now we are just walking backwards through the parent. So let's store the original subject ID for the day t, and also we have to store the chosen value for the day d as well, right? So these two things we have to do. First let's do these two things. So this one will be s of sj of d minus 1, this is fine, equals array of j dot id. So this is fine, man. We have to store the chosen value for the day d as well. So this one I'll just go with the xv d minus 1, this is fine, this is equivalent to the array of j a plus, I can just write here oh, this is fine. Now let's do one thing. After storing the original subject ID and the chosen value for the day d, so let's get the parent state for the particular dp cell, right? So I can just give here state. So this one, let me assign the p to parent of this one d j, and so this will be o, this is fine. So let me go with a simple if condition here. If parent is null, we would have reached day 1, and then we have to exit that particular loop. So I can just write it on this way. If p value, if it is equivalent to the null, then we have to exit the loop, meaning we have, I can just give break here. This is fine as we are making use of the while loop. So now what we need to do, so we have to move to the parent state, nothing but the previous day. So this one will be j equals p dot pj, so this is fine. O equals p dot pv, so this is also fine. Finally we have to decrement the day, nothing but d here. This is fine, man. We are done with this part. Next let's do one thing. We have to print the subject ID and the value for each day in the order. So let me go with for loop here. This one will be int I equals 0, I less than n, so this one is fine, I plus plus, this is fine. So this one will be out dot println sj of this one I, this is fine, plus so this one is fine, xv of I, this one is fine as well. We are just printing the subject id and value for the this one each day in the order. This is fine. Finally, let me come out of this one entirely. Now we have to flush the output, so I'll just go with out.flush. Yep. We are done with the coding part, so this is fine, I believe, right? So yep, so we are done with the coding part. So now what shall we do? Yep. So let's do one thing. Before checking the code with the different inputs or this one examples, let me copy paste the signature starter template. Just give me a second here. So I'll just come here. Let me paste it over here. So let me come to the question. Let me copy the input here, the first example. Basically the output that we need to get here is this one, right? Let's check the same here. So we are having some errors here. So many errors, man. 13 errors. So expected semicolon, line number 65. Oh yeah, this one I haven't given semicolon here. So this one I have considered directly int. So what am I doing here? So we are sorting. The first step itself is sorting. This one sorting. I know this. This is fine. So this one I have given for j int length. This is fine. For j equals 0, j less than n. So this one I didn't give length. So this one has to be length of j equals new int of this one, new int. So I have to go with one, this thing, what do you call, this is fine, man. Oh yeah, this one I have given in the previous line, right? So within this I'm going with a int array of j. So this is fine. What's wrong here? Oh, semicolon I have missed. I have to give the semicolon, this is asking, right? So this one I have to give semicolon here. Let me run this one. Yep, the error is gone. We have 12 errors. Expected flower bracket 93, this one. For int d equals to 2, where is d equals to 2, man? This one we are filling the dp for the days, this one 2 to n, right? So this step within this one, what we have done wrong? Long candidate we have considered here. Oh, again I have missed the semicolon here. We are giving this one within the flower brackets, right? So this is so confusing, man. That's fine. Still we are getting the error. So this one, and right, so this one previous plus k can it's previous plus k this one previous into long of k. This is fine, man. This has to work basically. Yep. Expected this one. Okay, this one I shouldn't keep semicolon here. After that, this one I have to give. Yep, now this has to work. Yep. Now this is fine. Line number 110, identify expected int best equals -1. 110 is fine. Long best equals -1. West equals -1. This is fine. Equals -1. Before equals -1. This is also fine. So this one identifier accepted, expected. Sorry. So let me run this one again. 110 best equals. So yep. Just give me a second here. 1 second. Yep. So I have considered long best equals -1. This is fine. Oh yeah, this one here, as I considered this one, I have to give semicolon, right? So sorry. Now this has to work correctly. Yep, this error is gone. Again the same mistake I have done, I believe. Somewhere semicolon expected. So line number 124, 124, 124. So I have considered here int d equals n. So yeah, int d equals n. So this one I have to give comma here, semicolon. This is fine. All are of the type int d, bj and b. So I know as I have written the code. This is fine. This is fine. There is semicolon expected somewhere. Where? So for int I equals 0, I less than and I plus plus, out println I have given here sj of I, this one xv of I. This is fine. What I have to do here? So in the line number 134, semicolon expected. Yeah, I have not given semicolon here, right? So this is fine. Let me give the semicolon here. Now let me run this. I hope. Still we have the error. I cannot find integer. This one. What mistake I have done, man? Line number 55. This one has to be parseint actually, not the integer. This one, where it is? Initially within the main method, right? So this one has to be int.parseint, right? So this is fine. 1 second, just give me a second here. So this one int I have given, this is fine. So this one parse, both are of the type, yep, we have made use of the long, so we have to give this one parse long. This is fine, man. Yep. Now if I run this error has be gone. Yep, we are left with one error, cannot find the symbol. Array of I equals new, so a comma b comma c comma ki plus 1. So I have given ki here, so k has nothing to do here. So this one has to be a, b, c and I plus 1. So we are just storing the subject with the original id equals I plus 1, right? So I don't know why this one I had misspelled, I believe, mistyped, I think. So this is fine. Now let me run this one. Index 11 out of bounds. Let's see. So here what mistake I have done in the line number 53 and 54. So here I'll just go with a small long wrapper, this one, right? So here as well, man. So let me make the change in line number 54 as well. So this is fine. Let me run this one. I'm not getting anything here. So still, so there was a typo basically in the line number 61. So here int I had given length something, so that one I have removed. It was not required actually, basically, right? That is one thing basically that I have removed. And one more thing, just give me a second here. Yep, that's it. Let's see whether this works or not, man. So yeah, now this is working basically, right? So we are getting the output 18, 210 followed by 420 and 540. So what's the output that we need to get here? 18. So this one we are getting 28, 310, 420, right? This one. This is also one of the valid sequences, I believe. So we have got here 18, 210, this one 420 and 540, right? So this is fine, I believe. Now this work. I hope this works. Let's see. Let me copy this one. So this is also one of the valid sequences, I believe. So accordingly to the code that we have written, mainly based on the approach that they have given in the criteria that they have given in the question. Basically, let's see whether this works or not, or else I have to change so many things, man. Let's see. I hope this works. Let's see. So we can just go with any valid sequence they have given in the question. So that's what I said. Yep. So while explaining the question, I had said you that we have to find, we can go with any valid sequence, means Meaning here we have to find any valid sequence of n subjects in the exercises, that is maximizing the total sum of the exercises. Basically we have to print no if it is impossible. That's what they have given. So we can go with any valid this one sequence of n subjects and exercises, right? Meaning, so yep, this is fine. Running on, yeah, this is running now. I hope this works fine. Meaning we can have the multiple outputs for the same input. We can just get any valid, we can just go with any valid sequence in simple terms, right? So yep, let's wait for some time. Yep, let's wait for some time. So many typos actually. Oh, this is so slow, man. This was the difficult problem actually. I have solved recently I have solved many 2400 2600 rated problems as well. I didn't find them that much difficult rather than this one basically. So this was actually, it was very difficult to implement. I'm not gonna lie. Just 55. Yep, here you can clearly see the verdict that we got here is accepted, right? So whatever the code that we have written works absolutely correct for all the test cases. So we have went with pure DP here, nothing else, right? So we have went with pure DP to solve this particular problem, right? So this works absolutely correct basically. I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and the complexities. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.